Not all fairy tales have happy endings. The Rise and Fall of Sierra Online. Written by Ken Williams. Narrated by Josh Horowitz. I don't know the whole story and don't care enough to research it, but apparently, my heritage is nothing to brag about. My only memories of my grandfather, on my dad's side, was of him dying. He was a scrawny little guy with a dark complexion and dark curly hair, which didn't seem to gray. He dragged around an oxygen tank and would sit smoking, drinking whiskey, and spitting into a coffee can. I've been told that he was a colorful character in his prime. He grew up in the hills of Kentucky, sold illegal moonshine, and is alleged to have spent time in jail for murder. There is no part of me that wishes we could have spent more time together. My dad's older brother was a chip off the old block. He also died of alcoholism. Somehow, my dad came through what must have been a tough childhood to be a good guy. He was 19 when he married my mom, who was only 16 at the time. My mom was young, but this was the backcountry of Kentucky, almost 70 years ago. My mom's family was certainly better than my dad's, but she also came from a broken home. In the years following marriage, my parents had 4 children, of which I was the oldest. My dad had trouble finding work and loaded the family into a car for a move to California, which at the time was rumored to have plenty of employment and a growing economy. Dad found work as a TV and appliance repairman for the retailer Sears, Roebuck and Company. It wasn't a great income, but they were able to purchase a small home in a lower middle-class neighborhood in Pomona, California. At a very early age, I developed an interest in reading. One of my earliest memories was reading the book Moby Dick. Maybe that book started me on the path of being interested in the sea? I don't know. I was devouring full books at 5 years of age. It seems impossible, but that is my memory. I read every Superman comic. I read the complete series of books called Hardy Boys, 190 volumes of kids solving crimes. When those ran out, I read a similar series called Nancy Drew. I was frequently busted by my mom for reading books, using a flashlight under the covers late at night. It didn't slow me down. We couldn't afford for me to own the books I was reading. As soon as I was old enough to ride a bike, I started hanging out at the Pomona Public Library. I loved that library. Some of my fascination was the access to books, but it was also a place to hide from my home. My mom and I didn't get along. I have no recollection of what we fought about, but I know that we did, and that I was always happier when away from home. I remember my dad as working all the time, returning only late at night. Looking back on it, I suspect his relationship with my mom wasn't much better than my own, and, like me, he sought refuge elsewhere. Incredibly, I have very few memories of my childhood. A psychologist might be able to say if I've blocked them out somehow. I have no idea, but I don't really want them back. I have only brief snippets of memory before turning 18. Most of my childhood memories are not of playing. They are of time spent at the library or at the nearby courthouse. In my early teens, I started attending criminal trials. I loved entering courtrooms and sitting quietly in the back, watching someone be tried for some offense against society. Murder trials were my favorite. I dreamed of being a lawyer someday. No one ever challenged me, but I'm sure everyone wondered what a 10-year-old kid was doing wandering the halls of a courthouse, or why his parents weren't watching him. I was what you might call a strange kid. I do recall that I was a smart kid. However, this did not translate to good grades. I would quickly read through any textbook and decide I knew everything, and then spend class time bored. It wasn't just my inattention in class that made me feel out of sync with other kids. I was born in late October, and for some reason, that allowed me to start kindergarten at age 4. This made me a year younger than most of my peers. Perhaps it was another manifestation of not wanting to be home, but I was a joiner in school. I joined everything: the track team, the chess club, the marching band, the studio band, summer school, etc. It didn't matter what it was. I wanted to do it.